We've talked about attachment many times before, but today I wanted to help you understand how it might be impacting your day-to-day life as an adult. Attachment theory was first introduced by a British psychiatrist, John Bowlby. Basically, the main concept of attachment theory is that the way we bond with our primary caregiver forms the way we attach to people throughout our lives. What's important to note is that attachment theory is founded in the belief that whatever happened in our early relationships is seen in our mind as a rule for future ones. And we go out into the world with this blueprint looking for things that fit it. This is how attachment, bonding, and relationships work. The point of learning about this is so that you can understand and can identify some of your adult relationship patterns, and that's what I want us to dive into today. There are 4 main attachment styles we have as a result of how we bonded with our primary caregivers. Each one of these experiences shape the way that we, number 1, view ourselves, number 2, view others, and 3, view attachment or connections with others. So what are the 4 main styles of attachment? Well, the first is secure attachment. And this happens when our primary caregiver is responsible to our needs and we have a secure place to wander out and explore the world. But we know we have a place to turn to if things get scary or overwhelming. Our minds learn, in the simplest of terms, that you are trustworthy. I am trustworthy. And this bond, this attachment between us, is trustworthy. The second attachment style is insecure ambivalent or anxious attachment. Now, this happens when our caregiver is inconsistent. Maybe they have an illness, or maybe they have other things going on, but the child's brain isn't 100% sure that they will be there when we need them. And as a result, we cling. We can panic when there's separation because we aren't 100% sure that that person's going to come back. We never develop a sense of security around ourselves or the bond between them. It just feels insecure. The third attachment style is insecure avoidant attachment. Now, this is formed when our primary caregiver doesn't respond to our needs with sensitivity or care. We feel alone in our needs and our upsets, and we learn that we're better at navigating our needs and emotions completely on our own, or that we are the only person we can trust when it comes to getting those needs met. We learn that we are trustworthy, but others are not. And attachment in general isn't helpful for us. And as you can see, this could lead to us isolating or engaging in what I call toxic independence, thinking that we're the only one that can do what we need to do. We learn that we are trustworthy, but others are not. And attachment in general isn't helpful for us. And as you can see, this could lead to us isolating or engaging in what I like to call toxic independence. The fourth style is disorganized attachment. And it's a little bit different from the others because the first 3 types of attachment that I've listed are, quote unquote, organized. And what that means is that our brains developed a coherent, even if it's unhelpful, script about how to navigate around our caregiver. For example, like I'll cling or I'll avoid. But with disorganized attachment, the child's brain can't figure out a good strategy. The caregiver shows atypical behavior. Maybe they're abusive or rejecting or manipulative, and we don't know whether to move toward them or away from them. And we can feel afraid and confused, and it can play out in a variety of different ways. We might be clingy one moment, then dismissive and rejecting the next. Those of us with disorganized attachment styles have a hard time trusting ourselves or others, and sometimes may long for attachment, and other times we can fear it altogether. So as we grow up, we carry with us from these attachment styles a view of ourselves, a view of others, and a view of attachment or connection. In a healthy relationship, these are 3 key things that we're going to need to feel secure. Think of it like there's you, then there's across the cavern, there's this other person, and between you, there is this tightrope. In some ways, you have to have a sense of security in each of these 3 pieces. You, number 1, are you secure? Do you have value and worth on your own? Are you worth wanting? Do you deserve love? If you leave a relationship, will you be okay? Now, the second is the other, right? Across that cavern. Are other people able to be trusted? What are they doing over there? Are they stable and secure on their own? Able to share their needs, but not dependent on you? Are they safe to be trusted with your needs? And the third component is the attachment. Think of this like the wire stretched between you two. Is it secure? Is it stable? Are relationships themselves safe and stable? Or are they a thing you avoid? A thing you want or need? Are they a threat to your sense of self? Or are they necessary for your sense of self? Just take a second and think through those questions. Each attachment style has a different relationship with those three things. If any of these issues ring true for you, don't worry. I'm offering a live 2-day workshop on January 6th and 13th from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Standard Time that will empower you to set the boundaries you need to take back control of your life. We will discuss what boundaries are, the different types of boundaries that exist in our life, and what behaviors you may have that are sabotaging your ability to have healthy ones. And you will also learn why you need boundaries, how to set them, and what to do if someone refuses to respect them. Click the link in the description to join and know that it will be recorded so you can watch it later. If we are securely attached, we operate from the view that we are trustworthy. Our partners can be trustworthy, and that attachment and bonds are helpful and safe. In our adult relationships, our view of self is secure. We tend to have a sense of our own self-worth. It's not that we think we're perfect, but we feel secure in who we are. And we can take responsibility for our mistakes, weaknesses, express our needs, and seek help if we need it. We feel capable of navigating hard things and conflict. Our view of others is that they can be trustworthy. We aren't expecting perfection, and we also don't expect them to fail us. When they make mistakes, we're not shattered or idealistic. We look for healthy accountability and responsibility. We think other people can regulate their own emotions and also be vulnerable. And we operate as if attachment itself can be a good and helpful thing. Relationships are things we want, not things we avoid. When they need space, we think that means they need space, versus thinking they want to leave me or they're abandoning me. When they move toward us, we're happy for them to rely on us as we rely on them some too. And we can manage conflict. Now, secure attachment doesn't mean our relationships are perfect. And it doesn't mean we never get into unhealthy relationships. But it's usually associated with higher levels of healthy partnerships. Now, if we are insecurely or anxiously attached, we operate from the view that we aren't okay on our own. We lack self-esteem, and so we cling to others, using their love and the bond itself to help us feel safe. In our adult relationships, we lack a secure sense of self. We aren't sure if we're truly lovable. We aren't sure if we're good enough. And so we're constantly trying to use attachment to prove our worth. We may feel a lot of fear and anxiety or feel really clingy. Our view of others is dependent. We may sometimes push away, but that's only because we're afraid of abandonment. We tend to function if being picked by someone else will give us worth. If this person wants us, then we are finally worth wanting. Now, the way we think of attachment is we long for the attachment that brings a sense of closeness and intimacy. We may struggle with boundaries, maybe not wanting to set anything off that might lead to abandonment, right? We don't want to push anybody away or put up that thing because they might leave us altogether. We could also fear conflict and making it feel like the entire relationship is unstable. And without it, we're unstable, right? We're like depending on it. We may become overly enmeshed in relationships or overly fixate on them. We need lots of reassurance because in general, the bond feels necessary and unstable and easily threatened. If we are insecure avoidant, we may have a sense of security with ourselves, but we do not trust other people, and we may not feel safe in relationships. Our view of self is secure. In some ways, overly secure. We trust ourselves and ourselves alone. Like we are alone or able to meet our needs, right? We like to be independent. And if someone tries to care for us, it might feel inappropriate or at times even threatening. Our view of others depends on the relationship. The closer they get to us, the more we might be turned off by their needs, weaknesses, or vulnerabilities. We might think of them as being too needy or clingy, even if they're not actually those things. Our view is that others should, like us, meet their own needs and not ask or help or lean on others for support. And we operate as if attachment itself can be a threat to our personal security. It might feel too confining, and we may think of ourselves as a person who doesn't need it. Like, I don't need anybody else, right? Intimacy and closeness may feel like they're a threat to our freedom. We may even prefer short-term flings or relationships without any commitment. And finally, if we have disorganized attachment, our view of self is low. Our view of others is that they're unpredictable and relationships themselves can feel frightening and unsafe. Our view of self is that we are undeserving of love. We may not be able to regulate our emotions well or self-soothe, but unlike the insecurely attached who tries to meet this need by clinging to others, we don't feel safe with them either. So we may turn to other coping skills like drugs, alcohol, self-injury, eating disorder behavior. Our view of others can fluctuate. Sometimes we might feel extreme love or connection, and sometimes we might feel extreme hate. We may find ourselves expecting a partner to meet our needs or feeling the opposite, that no one can help us. Our view of relationships also fluctuates. We may find ourselves longing for closeness and intimacy, but our view of ourselves and others might keep us trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage or even abuse. We can all experience relationships where we end up feeling insecure about ourselves or untrusting of our partner, or the instability of the bond between us. So attachment itself is more about the patterns that we see, meaning it's happening repeatedly. And if we look back, we can see the same type of relationship or the same issues in a relationship happening again and again. So if you find yourself repeatedly in relationships that don't seem healthy or feel right, take a look at these patterns. How is your view of yourself impacting the type of relationships that you seek? How is your view of others impacting your relationships? Also, how is your view of relationships or connections themselves impacting your relationships? Consider the questions that I asked throughout this video and take some time to maybe journal or jot down any of the patterns, or maybe there was just a certain phrase I said that really rang true for you. Start jotting that stuff down and paying attention, because if we don't notice it, we can't change it, right? We can't move in a better direction if we don't know where we've come from. And it really helps for us to identify some of these unhealthy attachment or relational patterns that we've had in our lives so that we don't continue repeating them. I know that we've all felt at one time or another like, what am I, just a fly strip for dysfunctional people? Like, why does this keep happening to me? But I'm here to tell you that it could have to do with our attachment style, and recognizing that and working slowly to change that and pick better partners and work on our own selves so we feel more secure in ourselves can make all the difference. But I'd love to hear from you. How has attachment affected your adult life? Are there things that you've done to help improve? Feel free to share in those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.